That's cool.
Where the water came through. Yeah. How about that?
Alrighty guys, hello and welcome. First of all, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Alright, if you can't hear me, come closer to the railing. If you'd like not to hear me, you can scoot away from the railing. That's fine too, I don't mind. My name's Lucian. I'll be your tour guide today for our 2 stops. And our journey began in the visitor center, located right around this area here. We then descended about 537 feet down to this tunnel here in orange. We then followed that to where we are currently located, which is right about here in one of our 4 original diversion tunnels. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep in mind the diversion tunnel is the big one on either side of us here. These tunnels are about 50 feet in diameter and about 3/4 of a mile long. As I mentioned in my elevator, its original purpose was to divert the river around the construction site, as you could not build something the size and the scale of the Hoover Dam on top of a raging river. Now to get the water into these tunnels, they first built what was called the Upper Hoover Dam right about here. 100 feet tall, built using concrete and other natural materials. Once this was completed, the water was pooled up into this zone here, where it was then driven into our newly built diversion tunnels, where it would go all the way around and back into the Colorado River. Next step was to build the Lower Hoover Dam, 65 feet tall. His purpose was to keep that newly diverted water from backflowing into the construction site. Once that was completed and the riverbed was completely dry and devoid of water, another 135 feet of rock, sand, silt, and debris was excavated to get to bedrock, so they could build the Hoover Dam on top of a solid foundation. And in June of 1933, construction officially began on Hoover Dam. This was signified by dropping the first bucket of concrete all the way down to the base of the dam and spreading it onto wooden forms. Each one of these buckets contained about 8 cubic yards worth of concrete, or about the same amount as a cement mixing truck. And once they got good at lowering buckets down, a bucket was lowered every 78 seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next 2 years, until Hoover Dam was completely built. Next step was to fill in Lake Mead, this big blue area here. So they shut down 3 of our diversion tunnels, while keeping 1 open to keep the flow of water headed downstream. Took about 6.5 years total for Lake Mead to fill in completely. Once it did, it held the distinction of being the largest man-made lake in the world. And today, it is still the largest man-made lake in America by volume. Towards the end of construction, they shut down the last diversion tunnel and built what are called the against the rock wall, everybody. Thank you. Right against the rock wall. Right against the rock wall.
And honestly, it's been 15 for.
The railing, folks. You don't see a spot, there's lots of room to my left if you keep walking into the big room here. Quite a lot. 2.5 miles worth of copper cabling for sure, so yeah, yay baby. Alrighty, looks like we're all here. So on behalf of the Bureau of Reclamation, welcome to the Nevada side of the power plant. First thing you might be noticing are our generators up against the left-hand side here. We have 8 generators here on the Nevada side. We have 9 on the Arizona side for a total of 17 generators. They stand about 70 feet tall, but you can only see the top 30 feet as the other 40 is beneath the floor. And if a generator is on and currently running, the light on top will be illuminated, which is very confusing right now just because of the sunlight. But right now, 2 of our generators on the Nevada side are currently running right now. That just means 2 or 3 on the Arizona side are also running at the moment also. And that does change throughout the day. As the demand for power goes up, we'll turn on more generators to meet that growing demand in power. Usually towards the end of the day, many of our generators will be turned on by that point. Now, quick physics lesson. All the water that sits in Lake Mead, we call that potential energy. That potential energy then gets sucked up.
That's where we were just at this morning. I'm confused. Wait, were we up here? Yeah, that's where we were at. Okay.
Just different views of the dam.
I didn't see any Griswolds from.
What
The museum's not under. We're not even seeing the film. It would have been interesting then. I'm going to sit right here. I guess it was.
I'll come in.
These steps aren't steep.
tall. And now it's 5 years to do them. I think it's quicker. No, he's going to the view doesn't it?
Stay right here and look at your picture. Stay right there.
The view.
Oh.
Đây vào xong rồi.
Bring them to the house.
No. Try to put everybody out of it. Mana?
It starts from here. No, it starts from here, and then it goes over here.
I'll try.
You have to work hard to get everybody out.
Yeah. ഇത് வந்து இந்த டேம் நம்ம இந்த பாத்தீங்கன்னா அதுதான்
Yeah, you just have to learn how to crop them up.
I cropped everybody out of yours.
Yeah, I crop them out of yours, but you ain't got a good background with it by the time you do that.
Well, no, I mean, yours has got the good background and everything. You got the whole bridge behind you on yours.
Yeah, we didn't have them on yours.
Well, here, try it again.
We always don't shoot it like that.
There, now try it again.
There you go.
It's like water fueling. It's like located water.
அது அப்படி கிடையாது.
Yeah, there's a yeah. If you give like 100% of coverage to that, excuse me, miss. No, you can get the survey.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you got a great picture here. You ready?
Water coming out of the generator.
சரி ஏய் பசங்க அப்புறம் அந்த டேம் மேல ஏறி போய் நின்று பார்க்கணுமா இல்ல அப்படியே
Yeah, we can't come back here.
What if I stood on this so I could get a picture of them into it? Can you stand right here? Let me stand up right here. Or you can just use your GoPro. That'd be smarter.
அதுல பீப்புள்லாம் நடக்கிறாங்க
கூகுள் நீ வந்து ஏரியா 15 வரைய ரொம்ப டல்லா
That was a short tour, but more shorter than I expected.
Yeah.
I didn't tell us very much like that statement. I got pictures of all the stuff I can read later on.